Mr. Worldwide here from Colombo, Sri Lanka. In today's episode, we will be talking about the role of women in Sri Lankan culture, mannerisms of Sri Lankan women, and why Sri Lankan women are desirable for marriage. Lankan women have it drummed into their head at an early age that marriage to someone in their own religion and social class is the only way to be happy. This is not a racist thing. It's just that a Lankan marriage is really an alliance of two extended families. So having religion and social class in common is actually quite essential for a harmonious future life. Sri Lankans are very status-minded when it comes to marriage. It's not like in the West, where for instance a Western girl who is a manager in a law firm will be quite happy to marry a plumber or a security guard. This would be absolutely unheard of in Sri Lanka. In Sri Lanka, for example, an upper-class Kandyan Buddhist family from the Govigama caste would not intermarry with folk from the fishermen Karava caste or alcohol brewers, the Hali caste. If a Lankan girl is unmarried by, say, age 30, the family will start getting very disappointed, and intense pressure will be applied on the arranged marriage circuit to avoid her turning into a family liability. Sri Lankan women are quite homely and will concentrate on family and taking care of the kids after marriage. Her success will be measured on whether the children are happy and that the house is a pleasurable place for the family to live in. Wifely duties might also extend to ensuring that her parents are also looked after, and sometimes the in-laws too. This homely nature is a definite plus point for Sri Lankan women. Bear in mind that it's relatively affordable to employ a maid to do the cooking and cleaning. It costs around $5 a day to employ a maid to work for around 4 hours daily to manage the daily chores. This is a luxury that families in the West do not have. Having a maid takes a lot of pressure off the wife in the family. Sri Lankan men generally like a minimal conflict life, and Sri Lankan women are generally less highly strung than some other cultures. Islanders just like to chill out and relax. Lankan women talk at a relatively slow pace and physically move around at a similar slow pace too. This is not a bad thing. Why does everything have to be at 100 miles an hour like in the West anyway? One could generally say that Lankan women are graceful and elegant. Lankan women are a lot less intense and have less of a CEO girl boss or Western feminist attitude than their Western female counterparts. Many men consider this a good thing for a harmonious relationship. Lankan women have a nice skin and complexion. This is probably due to the food. Lankan food cooked at home, although high in calories, is full of fresh vegetables and fruit bought at the markets mainly. Coupled with the warm climate and sea breeze, this gives Lankan women a good skin tone and quality and keeps them looking younger for longer, as long as they don't overindulge in eating massive quantities of rice, which is also part of the culture. Lankan women are very inquisitive about other people's personal lives and generally love to gossip. Sometimes, even if a person is met for the first time, people would ask if they are married or not. Sri Lankans, actually both men and women, can openly make comments about someone else's appearance, weight, or hairstyles in public. For instance, if you put on weight, some people might start a conversation by saying, "You have put on weight, haven't you?" However, most of the time they do not mean to ridicule or embarrass you. It's just that this is considered acceptable in Sri Lankan conversation. There are many Sri Lankan women living in Western countries, and they are in high demand from both brown men and white men. For instance, in the UK, Europe, and Australia. In the West, 90% of attractive Lankan women are easily married or in a long-term relationship in their early 20s. I know this because I grew up in the West and observed this trend very early on. I'm a firm believer in letting the market decide a woman's popularity, and it's pretty clear that the stock price of Lankan women is high in Western countries as well. Some of these pictures in this video are from a pool party at the Cinnamon Grand, which is a 5-star hotel in Colombo. These party people are the cream of Colombo families, which would be the top 5% financially speaking of Sri Lanka. That concludes part 1 of this video. In part 2 of the series, I will make some other observations on Sri Lankan culture. Until next time, this is Mr. Worldwide signing out.